Everybody Hates Rand is a Wheel of Time podcast that will contain spoilers for all 14 books. So if you're anti-spoiler, pause this, read all 14 books, and come back. We'll be here, waiting.
Our title is a joke and is meant to be taken as such. In the context of this podcast, everybody refers to us and our cat. You are free to feel however you want about Rand, who is a fictional character. Don't DM us.
The world is a mess, Dark One stretching out his hand. The dragon's reborn, the fire's been fanned, but everybody hates Rand. Everybody hates Rand. Everybody hates Rand.
I have to wake up early tomorrow to bring Otis to the groomer, which is going to be a trial for both of us. Because
That's
my
a
mom...
wild sentence.
I
was like, what?
Because my mom's going to Disneyland. She was like, I'll pay you $20 if you come to our house at 7:45 and get Otis to his groomer's appointment by 8. And I was like, why are we even bothering to groom Otis anymore? He's on death's door.
Yeah, no offense, but Otis is sort of the living dead at this point. Like, God bless him, everyone. But you look at him and you're like, is that dog alive?
I was like, how's he getting home if you're just hopping on a plane to Disneyland? And she was like, Sarah's picking him up. And I'm like, oh, Sarah will love that.
Sarah, who despises Otis.
Yeah, Sarah's hatred for Otis knows no bounds.
It's really
funny. Really hilarious.
Because Otis is like a pretty inoffensive animal.
I know, Otis doesn't really do anything. And also...
It's not like Tybalt, you know?
Yeah, it's not like Tybalt, who's an active crime against humanity.
Yeah.
It's a living...
a living sin.
He's currently sphinxing it up. Is it?
Last night I was...
Is that going to be the sign-off, maybe?
Oh, yeah. It's so good. It's so good. I'll wait.
No, we've introduced ourselves, sort of. I feel like that was a pretty good introduction to, like, our lives, where we're at. My period story, and also I have to take the dog to the groomer tomorrow. Your niece being sassy.
No, she's so mean to me.
We do have to talk about Wheel of Time eventually.
These are okay chapters. I'm fine to talk about these ones.
Oh, good. Well,
egg.
Egg. It's an egg.
I love talking about egg.
Don't you just...
Okay, this is our Wheel of Time. This is Wheel of Time.
I hate you.
This is our Wheel of Time podcast. Everybody hates Rand. I'm Emily. I'm Emily Drushaw.
No, that was really fun. You were doing so good introducing it. I was like, oh, I like not having this chat.
No, this is...
But then, of course, you couldn't go through it.
It's just so funny to make it bad.
Okay, let's just leave it like that then.
It's funny to me on some weird level.
Okay. Well, that was it then, fellas.
Falafels?
What?
Falafel.
Is there a good falafel place around?
I've been trying to find one.
Damn.
I love falafel. Apparently there's a good falafel food truck, but the problem with food trucks is I never know where the fuck they're gonna be.
That's true.
Where are they? They're like, check my social media. And I'm like, I'm not getting on Instagram just to hunt for falafel, okay?
I mean, if you're gonna hunt for anything, falafel is the most dangerous game. Man.
Forget it. I want some falafel.
Yeah.
What if there was like a Tinder for falafel?
To like match you up with falafel?
Yeah, with ideal falafel. The problem is the falafel would have to match with me too. Oh, that'd be really putting yourself under the microscope.
I've completely lost track of what just happened.
Okay.
Sally's the manic one this episode. Welcome. So we are in fact talking about egg.
Egg.
We're with the gals as they attempt to infiltrate Teleron Riyadh, or actually just Egg does, because she's like, I'm the only one who's competent to do it. Just kidding. She's like, I'm the only one who's ever used the ring. I only let Elaine and Nynaeve do it like once because it freaked me out. So I know more than they do. So it's just me who's going. She's not even using the ring, actually.
Yeah, she's like doing it at Solon's ring.
Yeah, she's doing it dreamer style.
She's doing it raw.
Okay. I don't like that analogy at all. Sorry, that was a really troubling one. I'm gonna need some time to get through that.
Anyway, Avienda's there too.
Yeah, Avienda has now joined the girl squad, like, officially. She's just there. This is also picking up immediately after the events of the last chapters, wherein the Stone of Tyr was attacked by, like, a big army of Trollocs and Myrddraal, which we don't get too much intel on from the girls, like, how much fighting they did. It's kind of implied, but all we really get is Edwin's PTSD, like, when she found out what was happening, because she saw a woman get killed.
Yeah.
Which is upsetting, of course, but also just, like, but I want to know what badass channeling they did.
That's true.
And also, like, is it, like, 4 a.m, because they all need, because Nynaeve had to do healing, right? You'd think? She can make herself angry enough to heal, right?
Yeah, and Nynaeve really hates it when people are sick.
Yeah.
It's
Nynaeve's
pretty
like, a
charming.
paper cut? What?
How dare you treat your body like this?
You didn't get the flu shot!
Your God-given body, and you didn't get the fucking flu shot?
Hey, get the flu shot, people.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a gnarly flu season.
This is your EHR health PSA. Get the
Yeah.
flu shot. I hate shots. I cry every time, and I get the flu shot every year.
Yeah, because she's brave.
You have no excuses.
Because she's brave, and also because she's doing her duty for all the people in the nation with immunodeficiencies.
Yeah.
So.
And little kiddos.
Yeah, little kiddos and the oldies and the diabetics.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All those people, they need herd immunity. So, get your flu shot.
Herd immunity. I like that term.
Yeah.
Herd immunity.
Herd immunity.
Herd immunity.
I can't.
Herd immunity. My niece cannot say the word aviary. She used to say, yeah, anyway, she can't say it. So when we were taking her to the aviary this weekend, she'd be like, are we going to the aviary? It would take her like 10 seconds.
That's like me with some celebrities' last names. Like Cara
Delevingne?
Is that how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
I've literally never heard it said out loud until just now.
Cara Delevingne.
Delevingne.
What's another one?
It was mostly that one was the one I was thinking of because I keep seeing ads for her dumb circus fairy show on Hulu or whatever. With Orlando Bloom as her love interest, which there's a big age difference, people. Orlando Bloom isn't the spry 20-something elf lad he once was. Now he's like in his 40s or whatever.
Now I might as well be dead.
He might as well be dead, but he definitely shouldn't be dating women in their 20s.
That's correct.
Yeah. Did you know Jerry Seinfeld used to date an 18-year-old?
Hate that.
Yeah, but I think we all need to talk about it because now we know Jerry Seinfeld's a trash can of a human.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, anyway, if you think of any other trash cans of human men, just, like, throw them out there as the episode progresses. Woody Allen,
That's
Roman
a big
Polanski, yep, can keep going. Most of them, actually, it turns out. At least the famous ones in Hollywood. Okay. Anyway, everyone's all really freaked out. Avienda's, like, fully armed to the teeth, which, like, good for fucking her. And everyone's like, okay, getting ready to go to the World of Dreams. And Edwin's like, first, real quick, let me tell you about all my prophetic dreams.
Yeah.
Which are all super fun, and I actually can't remember any of them.
Matt's being wrestled by a Shanshan woman.
Yeah, Matt wrestling with a Shanshan woman who's got an invisible leash on him, which I think he does physically wrestle too on at one point when he's trying to tie her up in a rug. So, you can say this about them. Their relationship is exciting.
Jesus. And then there's, like, Perrin with the wolf stuff. Galad
Yeah,
wraps
like-
himself in white.
Oh yeah, that one's interesting.
Yeah.
She doesn't usually have the
Yeah.
lad-centric.
Yeah.
Um,
At least not prophetic dreams, you know?
yeah,
Wink,
I
wink.
mean... oh, wink, wink. Can you imagine, though, if Edwin was like, I was having sex dreams about Galad, but now I'm having sex dreams about Gawain, and it's a major downgrade.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
God, I can't wait till they announce the cast for Galad and Gawain.
Oh,
And Elaine.
How are they gonna do it, though? Galad is canonically the most beautiful
What if they make him
character of all
CGI?
time.
It's just a CGI pretty boy.
Everyone's like, he's so beautiful. Alternately, what if he's super just, like, not good looking? And everyone has to fawn over him?
Yeah,
and
that would be so good.
that would also be really good.
Yeah.
How do you, like, just cast a Disney prince, you know? I guess they do it all the time with all these live action.
Yeah, but I don't think they ever do a particularly good job.
Yeah, that's true. Can anyone think of a Disney prince who has been cast who was, like, fittingly a Disney prince? What are the live-action ones that have come out? They were gonna get Harry Styles to be the Little Mermaid's love interest, and I was like, finally, I might be invested in the Little Mermaid as
That
a
would
narrative.
be so good if they were like, and here's Harry Styles.
But Harry Styles was like, I'm too busy being chaotic.
What if Harry Styles played Galad?
I'd get it.
Could you imagine?
It would be super funny.
And they got like Niall to play Gawain.
That's really trashing Niall. I think Liam should play Gawain.
I know, yeah, but then I don't want to have to look at Liam for that one.
We'll cast Niall as something else.
Okay, who can Niall be?
Some other unoffensive boy. I don't know, who could Niall be? Are there any other boys who aren't 6'9"?
God, I know.
Because Niall, bless his heart, can't really fit the bill.
Really play Gaul.
Yep. Rough.
I don't know. Wheel of Time has, for having 3 main boys, it has otherwise a lack of boys.
Yeah, go figure. Well, if we think of it, we'll let you know.
Yeah, we have to get all of the 5
Yeah.
One Direction boys into the Wheel of Time.
Oh, Wolf, she was sure it was Perrin fighting a man whose face kept changing. Oh yeah, that's the Isam / Lord Luke dynamic, which literally will crop up in this book and then not again for like 9 books. It's so stupid.
It's Isam, and what's the actual prince's name?
Luke.
Oh, I thought that was what he went by.
Yeah, I mean, that's his name that he goes by in the Two Rivers, but it's also literally one of the names of the 2 guys who get melded into one person.
I did.
Yeah, Isam and Luke, so.
Isam.
Yeah. Which finally I received some clarification on because there's a chapter in the beginning of A Memory of Light from their point of view, and that was kind of like enlightening in a weird way. Not in like a fun way, because I hate reading villains' points of view, but nevertheless, I did find things out.
It was a memory of enlightening.
I can't with you. Anyway. Yeah, Galad wrapping himself in white as though putting on his own shroud is actually a really upsetting image.
Yeah.
And also does imply that being a white cloak will kill him, which, spoiler alert, does not happen, so that's kind of disappointing. I hate when there are prophetic dreams that are, like, death-related, that don't result in a character. I just don't like when foreshadowing does not come to fruition in a narratively appropriate way.
But I mean, I haven't read much of Galad's narrative, so I think it's doesn't he like metaphorically have some crises of faith?
Not really.
Therefore
He kind of just has a successful go of it as a white cloak.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, he like does his. Everyone is kind of like mourns him for joining the White Cloaks, but then he kind of like pulls them out of the, religious terrorist category and kind of shapes them up a little bit, or at least it's implied that's what's going to be happening in the future. So yeah, I don't really.
Weird then.
I'd rather just all the White Cloaks as an organization, like, perished and also Galad died. Not because obviously I fucking love Galad, but he's one of those expendable characters.
Yeah, like he's a death that would be fine.
Yeah, it's kind of just weird, and we'll get to it. We'll get to, in A Memory of Light, my list of characters who should have died and didn't.
Excellent.
And it's, like, a pretty fucking long list.
And you're like, everybody. All of them.
You can't just build up Armageddon and be like, but only 3 characters die, you know? Like,
wow.
Not literally only 3, just, like, only 3 we care about. Come on. If Galad had died, that would be a major blow.
True.
To me, personally.
Yeah, you'd be like, where'd that ass go, though?
Yeah. Gawain with his eyes full of pain and hatred. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah, seriously.
That's just called being an adolescent.
Yeah.
Come on, Gawain. Shape up. Rand building a wall with him on one side and her on the other, her and Elaine another she could not make out. It has to be done. I'll not let you stop me now. That's called an emotional wall, people, and they're unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it's not a very good metaphor. And also her mom being upset, which is actually sad. And foreshadows Two Rivers stuff. Anyway, blobbity blobbity blah. Edwin goes in to tell her on Riyadh, and she's specifically investigating Tarabon, Tanchico, which is one of their known possibilities for where the Black Aja could be headed. And she's like, I'm just looking for anything that could indicate that the Black Aja are here, which, as she soon discovers, in an entire city is kind of tough to do. But she's like, here I am in this weird museum thing, which has a skeleton of an elephant or possibly a woolly mammoth. Unclear.
Yeah.
Definitely a giraffe. And then a bear thing that doesn't seem like an our world
got, like,
thing.
Saber teeth.
Yeah, it's like a saber-toothed bear.
I feel like we might have had saber-toothed bears.
You think?
Oh shit, guess what time it is?
Sally Googles things. Meanwhile, I'll continue telling you about the museum exhibits.
Did you ever go to the Bean Museum?
Yeah, I did. I had to go a few times because it's in Provo, and there's, my family hangs out there.
It's coming up, saber-toothed bear.
You found it?
Oh my god, this just looks like a giant beaver.
I hate that.
Maybe it is a giant beaver.
I want to die.
Jaw-dropping extinct sea bear chowed down like a saber-toothed cat. A mysterious carnivorous marine mammal. Clamped down on its muscle dinner.
That's horrifying. Imagine you're swimming and instead of a shark attacking you, a saber-toothed bear fish attacks you. It's like something out of D&D, folks.
I don't know. I'm getting, nothing.
No definitive.
I'm getting extinct otter-like marine bear might have had a bite like a saber-toothed cat. This one looks really upsetting in proportion. But this didn't come out until 2016, so there's no way Robert Jordan could have known, unless he's really been alive throughout all of human history.
And retroactively changed through all of human history. He's like a Highlander or something.
Yeah, he's like been alive since the Pleistocene. And he's like, my long-lost childhood pet, my saber-toothed bear.
I'm going to have a throwaway line about him in my least good book. Oh, rough. Rough
being a dog. Never get to drive a car. We sing that song in elementary school chorus every year.
Okay. That's a fun... I can't remember anything we sang in elementary school I don't remember singing from the age of 3 to the age of, 18 because I hated it so much.
Yeah.
As a school prescribed activity. It was so fucking
chorus was an
terrible.
elective thing you could do at my elementary school.
Oh, I had to do it in church more.
Oh.
Yeah.
I always forget that people grew up going to church. Because it was not my childhood experience.
I don't reference it too often because I've mostly also forgotten that it happened.
Anyway, Egg does a bad in the museum and crosses the red ropes. Oh, shit.
Yeah, she's like, oh, there's an angriel, and then she sees the thing that the Black Aja are there for, and that a seasoned reader will immediately recognize, which is a creepy, I think it's called, something about Dominion or some fucking weird thing. But it's a, God, I just forgot what they're called. The, leashes.
Oh, the Adam?
Yeah, the Adam. It's like an Adam, but for men.
Yeah.
Which Edwene doesn't quite... It's a little ridiculous that she doesn't recognize it. Of all people, she was literally, traumatized with one for a month or so.
Yeah.
So... Even if she doesn't, even if it's a different color...
Yeah, she would still recognize the shape.
Yeah, and she also, just senses pain and suffering. There's all these things are radiating weird emotional auras. So it's just, a little buck wild that she just skims right over that.
Yeah, and she's like, NBD, the instrument of my torture. If it was Nynaeve or Elaine, it might make more sense.
Exactly. And it's it has to be Edwene in this kind of scene, but it's I wish... she just hadn't noticed it or something, and then Nynaeve and Elaine noticed it later when one of them is actually physically there. It's pretty weird.
It's an odd moment.
Yeah, kind of just bad writing, bad callback. She also finds a kind of broken Chodan Call key, one of the female versions. So this is a terangrial that links to one of the really massive Cyangrials. Rand has already seen the big Cyangrial and almost blew up Kyrian with it, which, let's be honest, would have
Would have been a much more interesting turn of events.
For Kyrie specifically.
Yeah, like rip Tom, I guess.
I guess Tom would have been in the line of fire, but...
But is that a price I'm willing to pay?
But at that point, no one knew he was alive yet, so
Yeah.
it would have just been like he would have just stayed dead.
Oh my god, my Melissa started reading. She read The Eye of the World.
Oh, did she?
And she's like, I listened to the first 2 episodes of your podcast, but I was pissed that you spoiled that Tom was still alive. And I was like, Melissa.
Yeah, get some genre savviness. Obviously, Tom's still alive.
It was very sweet, though. She's like, I mean, I thought I knew, but I wanted to, like, find out on my own. And
It's
I was
not...
like, okay. And I was like, then you probably shouldn't listen to most of VHR until you get a little further in.
Remember the moment when Rand just, like, walks in and Tom's doing his dumb performance? Mm-hmm. And it's like, that's the moment where you're like, Tom's alive! And everyone's like, yeah, we've been new.
We've been new, baby boy.
He's shacking up like, Jerry Seinfeld style with a much younger woman. Tom, you're on the list.
Oh, shit.
You're gonna have to redeem yourself, and frankly, you don't do much to redeem yourself narratively.
Considering, that... Ugh.
It's I know, it's less that I like Tom and more that I like the idea of Tom. If that makes sense.
Yeah, Tom could be a really good character, but
I love Tom's interactions with any of the boys.
Yeah.
And I literally hate him in any other context.
Mm-hmm.
His whole relationship with Elaine is horrifying.
Yeah, it's gross.
Nynaeve, it's just, weird and combative because Nynaeve. And then it's just like,
Then he's just kind of there.
Yeah.
To be...
So, yeah, so if Tom just, was just Matt's dad figure, that would be appropriate, but no.
Yeah, instead.
Ugh. Okay.
Egg.
Oh, yeah, Egg picks up this, big terangrial thing, but then, it puts her in pain. Mm-hmm. It's just broken, so it doesn't, she, sort of feels the...
Yeah.
The power, but also it's just broken, which is just a really interesting concept, I think.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, you can sing.
I can't.
I mean, you shouldn't.
Okay, yeah, it is interesting. I've been thinking a lot to no conclusions, but just the relationship to magic and punishment in the Wheel of Time. There's always a cost, and I think we've talked about that a little bit, or probably a lot. I feel like now that we're in season 4, we're probably going to be rehashing some old things.
I mean, yeah, which is fine. I imagine if we've forgotten talking about it, you might have forgotten listening about it, unless it really changed your life in some way.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that furry episode in season 1.
I don't remember that furry episode. No, I do actually. Yeah, because
that's where I learned about ABO.
Oh no, don't say it. I was skirting around it, but you had to bring it. Beetlejuice now it will appear or whatever.
Yeah. Oh God, could you imagine? What would that even look like?
I don't know. I don't want to think about it.
Appeared in our living room. What was I even saying? I had some connection between magic and punishment and one of the artifacts being broken and it making Egg's head hurt, but I can't remember what the thread through these pillars were. So put it together yourself, I guess.
I don't know. I've been thinking about how magic items are just such a Dungeons and Dragons thing. Mm-hmm. It's just such an interesting trope that is so accepted in high fantasy that we don't really question it. Yeah. I guess. But it's the idea that you can just pick up an object and then it suddenly has magical properties is pretty buck wild when you really think about it. Yeah. It's really well explained, I think, in the Wheel of Time universe, the way that it's classified. Yeah. The idea that you can get a battery, a really big battery, or XYZ. Yeah. It's just miscellaneous. The terangrial classification is itself just super crazy. Yeah. It's they can do anything, theoretically. Who the fuck knows?
Do you think that the concept of magic item comes from the Holy Grail, or is there some myth that I'm forgetting about?
I mean, I certainly think of Arthurian legend because you have the pursuit of magical items, although the Holy Grail doesn't really necessarily have magical properties in myth. It's more just attached to the idea of relics. Yeah. which I guess in Middle Ages, that was kind of your magic object thing.
Yeah.
Just watch the movie Pilgrimage featuring Tom Holland for proof. I think more of like Excalibur, or I guess it's not Excalibur, but the sword that the Lady of the Lake gives to Arthur. I know there's a difference or whatever. Yeah. But just the like idea that like a woman in a lake can yeet a sword.
I know, if you think about that myth, it's so funny. Or she's like, here you go!
It is pretty wild. And I'm sure there are other mythologies and other... I mean, they're big in ancient Greek and Roman myths.
True.
The gods
Golden
just like
fleece.
present objects that are kind of like... Anyway, you kind of cross into the science fiction boundary in the Wheel of Time's treatment of magical objects because they are kind of categorized as lost technology in a way, especially the Terangrial.
Yeah.
That as we kind of get more and more of them and we start being able to identify them, which is one of Elaine's talents. I know, I can't. It's so
She's
stupid.
just like a fucking encyclopedia.
She can touch them and is like, oh, I know what this is. Which literally there's a spell in D&D that does that. It's called Identify. I'm sorry I know so much about D&D. I've been watching Critical Role.
It's not a bad thing to know about.
But anyway, yeah, she'll be like, this one is just like a library, like a little handheld library. And I'm like, so it's like a Kindle.
It's a Kindle.
It's a fucking Kindle. And just like things like that, you know, that are kind of like, in a bygone era, these would have been much more accepted, widely used items. Mm-hmm. But because we're in a post-apocalyptic, rebuilt society, they are now viewed as magical objects.
This is completely random, but I was thinking about how much that history structure of Wheel of Time annoys me for some reason.
Oh.
The idea that it is both, like, post-apocalyptic, but not. I don't know why it really bothers me. I don't know why. I can't explain that. I was just getting really...
post-apocalyptic and pre-apocalyptic?
Yeah, it was really bothering me the other day. I don't know why. I was like, this is dumb.
Okay.
It's not dumb. It's mythologically very interesting, but it was
just,
I'm like, bothering
I
me.
really like it. I just think the idea of having... So often it's just the pre-apocalyptic thing.
Yeah.
Or dystopian, post-apocalyptic thing. Having a healthy mix of them kind of gives weight to the pre-apocalyptic thing.
Yeah.
It's like normally you're just like, okay, and something vague will happen to shatter the world. And they're like, no, we've been new. It fucked up.
I don't know why it was making me so mad because, mythologically fascinating.
Mythologically very sound.
But I was like, what the fuck?
Well, these things happen. Things annoy me about Wheel of Time constantly. And I'm like, I don't know why, but it annoys me. Anyway, we do meet beautiful icon Amis in this. Is that how you say her name?
I always said Amos.
Amos?
But I don't think it really matters.
Amos. Amis. Whatever the fuck her name is. Badass motherfucker. Yeah. She's so cool. Because Edwina is like teleporting herself accidentally to the Ale Waste in a convenient turn of events.
Yeah.
Forest of coincidences. And she's like, a lady hunting a boar thing. Desert pig?
Mm-hmm. A big desert pig. Yeah.
A big desert pig. And then she's like, goodbye. And then she comes back and is like, desert pig. And then the lady's like, Olo?
Why are you here?
Why are you here? And then they have a little battle of wills.
Yeah, because the lady's like, you shouldn't be wearing the cat and sore. So she makes Egg naked, and then Egg's like, fuck you, and makes her naked.
Fuck you.
Yeah, and the lady's like, what?
And this lady's like, damn, this girl learns so very quickly. Yeah. I must pursue this well of ambition. Goodbye, I shall track her to Tanchico.
Mm-hmm. Where Egg is flying through the sky.
Where Egg is like, I've realized I can fly.
It's like Peter Panning herself
and then after
around.
30 seconds is like, this actually might not be the best idea if I'm trying to avoid notice.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Oopa.
Oompa loompa
Oopa dee doo.
And so she has this conversation with Amos where Amiss.
Amiss. What's amiss?
Where she's just like, girl, you gotta learn. Come to me in the Ale Waste. And Edwine's like, no, I'm trying to find the Black Aja in this city. Do you think you can help me? And Amiss is like, I don't know anything about the Black Aja, but this city is fucked up.
Yeah.
Which Egg herself has noticed as she's walking through it. It's such like an eerie thing that there are so many animals in it.
Yeah.
She describes just kind of like pigeons and roaches and rats and kind of like what we would, I guess, label as pests.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
they're like little hound dogs, like
Your little, like,
lone
stray
wolfing
dogs,
it,
yeah.
around. And regardless of how you feel about pigeons or stray dogs, that's kind of like when you combine all of them,
it's
sort
coded.
of, creates an eerie.
Yeah, it's
Wild
coded
West
in a
image.
kind of, a Wild West post-apocalyptic scenario where all the vermin and scavengers have survived.
It's very odd because I don't remember, and I guess we are still kind of wading into the deep waters that is Teleron Riyadh, but we haven't really experienced this with any other cities that have like known the Forsaken's touch, because that's all I can really imagine is happening here in Tanchico, is that Moghedion's there and so are all the Black Raja. And it's just kind of a like politically gross climate.
Yeah.
Shit's going down in Terabon that I'm not super familiar with. They're kind of always at war with Eredumon, but I don't know. So it's just like a little wild that this particular city is how we experience this. Like, you'd think it would be appropriate, I feel, in Camelin.
Yeah.
And a little more creepy, I guess, because Camelin's a city we're familiar with, and I went on a rant about this in one of my recent blogs, but it's almost like another character in the series because so much happens to our various characters in that setting, even if itself is not a particular setting. Even if it itself is not a particularly interesting setting, it is like stand out in so many people's memories and stories that it is important.
Yeah.
So, if this were happening in Camelin, it would be like a whole level of, uh-oh.
Yeah.
But it's happening in this rando city, so it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah, and we also don't have, like, the background. Like, we haven't been to Tanchico yet. So it's like, Tanchico, like, we got to Tyr and everything was, like, really weird. Like, how do we not know it's just not another thing about Rand doing things to the world? Like, it's, like, I don't think I would have grasped that something was weird until Amiss was like, something is weird.
Yeah, and it's a little annoying that it's questionable writing if you have to have a character state explicitly something that you are making an effort to state implicitly.
And it's also extra hard because Egg keeps talking about how weird things are, but she's in the world of dreams where everything's is weird,
uncanny, and super weird.
So it's just like a weird setting.
Yeah, it's hard to introduce us to Tanchico in any tangible way, I guess.
Yeah.
When you are introducing it to us through Teleron Riyadh, which is such a bizarre medium.
Yeah.
But anyway, Edwin gets back to the real world, is like, although I have decided I'm going on a vision quest to
the desert
to make this lady I met for 30 seconds my mentor, because she has knowledge and I am thirsty for knowledge. Avienda, will you take me? And Avienda's like, and everyone's like, Avienda's taking her. It's a little awkward.
Yeah. Avienda's like,
Avienda's like quietly in the corner, like, don't make any sudden movements and they'll
forget about you.
They'll forget about you. Avienda's also like, oh yeah, I know Amiss. She's technically my... Okay, so Avienda's has an aunt who is married to Ruark, which makes Ruark her uncle, which is a fun tidbit.
Yeah, just kick-ass.
And Amiss is also married to Ruark. Yeah. So does that make her Avienda's aunt by marriage?
I guess.
Very weird roundabout way.
Yeah.
As Elaine states, Ale family culture is really interesting.
Yeah, wild.
Like, I love the idea that you're closer to a cousin if your mothers are related than if your fathers are related. Yeah. That's just, like, super interesting.
Yeah, it's so random.
It's like, okay, cool. Cool. Avienda also introduces the idea of sister wives here and is like, and the idea that Ale women are the marriage proposers. Yeah, which is fun. I wish that was how our world our
I mean, it
society
can be.
operated.
Yeah.
It certainly can be, but
everyone's like, he won't ask me to marry him.
in the society in which I grew up, it is definitely not the norm.
Yeah, oh my god, I had a friend in high school who was, like, desperately in love with this boy, and she's like, I just wish he would hold my hand, and I was like, you could try holding his hand, and she's like, no, Sally, that's the man's job, and I was like, to hold hands?
Gross.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, good luck, they're married now.
Somehow I both completely saw and had no way of seeing that coming.
I know. Wild,
I was
right?
like, I'm sure she's bullied him into marrying her
Yeah.
by now, but...
Utah's wild, man.
Yeah, Utah's weird. The wild, wild west, speaking of.
Literally.
Ugh. But they're all kind of chatting about Edwin taking off and her lack of evidence for Tanchico when Moiraine enters and without preamble is like, so the Dark Friends are dead? And they're all like, cool, great.
Awesome.
Cool. And Moiraine's like, yes, here's the gruesome way in which they were killed. And everyone's like,
Gross.
gross, Moiraine, thanks.
Moraine, tiny French woman, is like, this is... What?
What?
I don't understand.
I don't understand. I've been around so long, I've forgotten what is and is not a grotesque death.
Yeah. Like, what?
Come on, Moiraine. And so they just kind of say, well, Nynaeve and Elaine are going to head to Tanchico tomorrow, and Edwin is going to go with Aviendha to the Waste. And Aviendha's like, I really don't want to go to the Whale Waste. And Moiraine's like, too bad, sucker, because I've got a letter here that I've already showed your uncle that is like, drag Aviendha to the Waste by her hair if you have to. And Aviendha's like, fucking narc.
Yeah, she's like, you fucking snitches get stitches, Moiraine.
Yeah, fucking kill you, Moiraine.
I know. And I do really hate the plot that Aviendha is forced to become a wise one.
Yeah, it's really, it's just sad. She gives off such big lesbian energy when she's like, all I want is to be a maiden with my spear sisters. Yeah. And it's like, that's so sweet.
I know.
I too just value female friendship.
Yeah. Maybe I just want to chase Edwin, the love of my life, across the world and be her warder.
Yeah. Yeah. It would be cool if Aviendha was not a channeler, is what I'm saying.
It would be cool.
Or even if she was a channeler and this just wasn't the way Ale society operated, but alas. Anyway, so that decided is where they end the chapter.
Yep, everybody has made decisions, and then Moiraine's like, Rand's gonna dramatically tell us all what he's going to do
at some point.
Tomorrow.
Finger guns.
Yeah, and she's like, I hate this motherfucker so much.
She's like, I just wish he would just tell me.
Yeah, she's like, I don't even care anymore.
Instead of keeping it a secret until the public...
until the public announcement.
Until the public is slobbering for it.
Yeah.
And he can, bring it to them like a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
He's like, here's what I'm going to be doing now. Yeah. And they're all like, please don't kill us. We're terrified of you.
We're so scared of you and your glass sword.
Yeah. He's like, glass sword, glass sword.
Glass shot gonna get you, fat kid.
Anyway, anything else you'd like to add? Academically, theoretically?
I know, that's the only thing I bring to this podcast.
That's
I don't
not
really bring
true.
a lot of it.
You also bring a lot of humor and a lot of heart.
Oh, thanks, babe. I don't think so. Pretty typical Worlds of Dreams. Oh, we also see Brigitte in the distance flickering.
She is hinted at,
Yeah.
Which means, like, I swear I just saw Brigitte, but I'm just listening
ridiculous.
to too many stories.
I like Brigitte's reveal because it's like a striptease, Everyone just sort of sees, like, bits and pieces of her throughout Teleron Riyadh, and then she's like, surprise, bitch.
Surprise, bitches, I'm here to be a main part of the plot.
Yeah, and
it's
befriend Matt Cathar.
Yes. I know, right?
I love their friendship. It's so wholesome.
They just have a very good friendship.
It's very wholesome.
It's the me and Devin of
It's
Wheel of Time.
true. Except Devin's Brigitte and you're mixed.
God, I wish we listened to the episodes proper so you could ask me what that means.
And then you could be like, well, you're a slutty archer.
And I'm a slutty gambler.
Yeah, exactly.
And their sluttiness combines.
Yeah, by their sluttiness combined, they are Captain Planet.
They make Voltron.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It was funny though.
Okay. We will be back next week, I think for 3 chapters, it might be.
Do you know the chapter in this book called Rumors is what first made me listen to Rumors by Fleetwood Mac, which is legitimately one of my favorite albums of all time.
Well, that was actually a very fun tidbit. Thank you for that.
I was marking up a Patreon book and I just wrote like Rumors by Fleetwood Mac. Because we always like do stupid things to the titles of the chapters because the chapter titles are fucking ridiculous.
Of course.
And I was like, I actually haven't listened to the album except for Go Your Own Way or whatever. And then I listened to it and was changed fundamentally as a person.
I've listened to it on vinyl at Devin's house, so...
Oh my god.
I know.
Oh my god.
I know.
Why is he so ridiculous? He's so annoying.
I love him.
That is a good one to have on vinyl, though.
I know,
if you're
it's
gonna
pretty
have
good.
anything on vinyl. I love that album.
Anyway, yeah, Rumors. We're getting 2 very good Matt chapters and 1 unfortunate Perrin chapter, but isn't that the way it always goes?
Yeah. We have to pay for our pleasures.
With our sins. What?
Mm-hmm.
Pain and pleasure, etc. Anyway, thank you to Glenna McKenzie for our beautiful theme song. Thank you to you all for listening. Please check us out on any of our social medias.
Mm-hmm.
Please check out our website, everybodyhatesrand.com. It's great. You can keep up to date on our reading schedule there if you're at all interested in reading with us.
Mm-hmm.
And a variety of other fun things.
Yeah, you should also check us out over on Patreon. We're getting really close to the goal that would allow us to make some merchandise, which would be really exciting for all of us, I think. So you should go check us out over there where you can find the aforementioned blooper reel and Emily's blog and the infamous other podcast, We Don't Watch Outlander, and all that good shiz.
Yes. Do you want to tell the story now as your sign off? Okay.
Yeah.
Where
I don't even
is
know
he?
where
He's
he
been
is.
oddly
He's
quiet.
vanished.
We haven't had to yeet him into the abyss.
Yesterday, I was meal prepping for the week, and I made zucchini lasagna, which is the first time I've ever cooked with zucchini, and it was kind of a weird experience, because it's apparently, like, a really watery vegetable, so, like, yeah, anyway, that's beside the point, and I was making it, and the meat sauce was admittedly, like, really good, so, like, I understand this crime, but right before I was about to put fucking lasagna in the oven, Tybalt just, like, reaches down and sticks his whole little white paw right into the corner of the lasagna. And I, like, shrieked and, like, had to rip him out of the lasagna.
Like, oh my god.
And then I couldn't wash all of it off, so he's got, like, a little orange paw. Because his paws are white.
The
so
text
mad.
she sent me was, "This is a formal apology for the fact that Tybalt has meat sauce stains on one of his paws. He reached his hand into the lasagna dish, like Prometheus reaching for the fire, and between his wiggling and biting, I could not wash all of it off. So I'm sorry, our cat has one orangish foot." It was really good. Anyway.
I'm so mad at him. Ah.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.